There's my phone. Hello, you beautifully minded, nosy people. I thought we'd do a fun video segment on my YouTube channel. This is a random surprise pop-up video on your Wednesday. We're gonna do We Read Reddit Wednesday. Say that 10 times fast. Can you say it?
We read Reddit Wednesday.
Yay! This is just a relaxed video that we're going to do. I'm not going to put too much editing into this. I thought it would be fun to read some fun Reddit stories. I did pick all of these, but I didn't want to like give away reactions or anything, so I kind of just glanced at a lot of titles and skimmed through very quickly to make sure if they were interesting or actually any good. So we are cozy in bed. Play this and just listen to it while you're working, while you're out running errands. You don't have to necessarily watch this too closely. So we are going to get into some interesting Reddit stories. I'm going to read all of these out loud, and I'm also going to take screenshots and put the screenshots of the titles in case you are watching this and you want to like read along. But I'm gonna try to speak slowly and clearly, slowly being the keyword and clearly also being the keyword. So we are gonna try our best. Glenn's here, my husband. Are you excited?
Yep.
Glenn is very allergic to toxic masculinity, and he has good reactions. So I cannot wait. We have some Am I the A-hole stories. We have some petty revenge stories. I kind of got a good mix. We have some serious ones, we have some lighthearted ones. No one cares about us, but here's our opinions about these stories. Are you ready?
Yep.
Am I the Bungulio, we're gonna say, because I don't want to cuss on my channel. Am I the Bungulio for leaving work early without telling anyone because it was over 130 degrees where I worked? 130 degrees Fahrenheit. I thought this title would be fun because Glenn works outside, so he knows how heat feels. So I, 18-year-old male, am currently interning at a very prestigious nursery in the Midwest. It is a really big deal for me because the company has government connections, and having it on my resume basically guarantees me future job opportunities. But here's the issue. My boss, let's call him MB, has been out of town on vacation for the past week. Normally, he's the one who works alongside me and checks in. But because he's gone, his boss, WB, who works out of a completely different office across the state from where I'm stationed, has been supervising me remotely using security cameras in the greenhouse. The greenhouse I work in is about a mile away from mine and my boss's office building, and since MB is gone, I haven't had access to the air conditioner office at all. I've been stuck in the greenhouse the entire time in the heat. Now the weather has been brutal lately, with highs around 100 to 105 degrees Fahrenheit. Inside the greenhouse, it's even worse. No AC, no fan, barely any ventilation. The only way I can cool it down is by opening the roll-up walls about 3 feet, and that doesn't do much. Even with the shade cloth and the cool temperature inside reached over 130 degrees Fahrenheit today. I was working in these conditions for over 6 hours straight before I started feeling lightheaded and got a headache. Since I haven't cooled off and had nowhere to rest, again, I had no access to the office, I made the decision to leave about 2 minutes early. I made the decision to leave 2 hours early. I didn't notify WB because I knew she'd be upset and I didn't have any sick leave to use anyway. About 30 minutes after I got home, WB checked the security cameras and saw I was gone and called me. She asked where I was, and I told her I had gone home because I wasn't going to keep working in the greenhouse that was 130 degrees Fahrenheit. She told me if I didn't return immediately and finish out the day, I would be suspended with a week with no pay. Problem is, I live about 30 minutes away and can't work past 5 p.m. It was already 5:30, so there wouldn't have been enough time for me to drive back and get anything done. So here's where I might be the butt. I told her that even if I could make it back, I wouldn't go back because it was too hot in there, and that if she wants me to make sure the plants in there are fine, she would come out of her nice AC'd office and try working in there when it's as hot as it is. She then told me her intern isn't having any problem with the heat. She only has one greenhouse to take care of, and it actually has ventilation, unlike the 6 I have to take care of. So I just gave up on the conversation, said I was sorry, and hung up. So now I might be suspended, and I'm worried I ruined my reputation with this company. I get that I probably should have told someone, but I also think I shouldn't be expected to work in dangerous conditions with no break and no access to AC. Am I the a-hole for leaving and going home early without telling my boss? Edit to add more context. In my contract, it does not state that I'll work in over 115 degrees Fahrenheit.
I wouldn't say he's necessarily an say he's a bunghulio. But, I mean, that's a rough situation, but, like, he should have asked to take a break, or maybe just, like, told her that he was feeling sick and needed to leave.
I think he's the butt because he didn't tell anybody. Or like I said, take a break. Of like, call the WB and be like, hey, I really don't feel good. Can I go sit in my car for like 10-15 minutes and cool off for a second? Like, I just really don't feel good. Like, I feel like there's so many other ways they could have gone around this.
Yeah.
What would you do in that situation?
I would just call my supervisor and ask for a break.
I mean, it's really as simple as that. There's no reason it should be more of an issue.
Yeah.
So there's a second edit. It says, I'm cleared of all trouble by HR and my boss, who is not happy to be called into an emergency Zoom meeting. I sent an email and an image of a thermo and was swiftly contacted by HR for a meeting, as my contract has not been upheld by WB, mainly the temperature part. I am now under watch of a different manager who is closer to where I'm working, and I'll have one other employee with me until the end of next week when my boss returns. Thank you for all the comments you guys left. A lot of them helped me open my eyes to the fact I truly walked out on my job. I haven't thought about that before, but the comments really brought that to front. So this person was ruled the a-hole. He was ruled the butthole. But all the comments pretty much said just for leaving early. It said, you left without telling anyone. You didn't tell them because you knew they would be mad. I have no problem with you leaving. It's crazy hot and there's no place to cool down. It's a safety issue. But leaving without telling anyone doesn't seem does seem a reasonable reason to suspend someone. They really don't respond to any comments or anything, but yeah, it's really everyone simply just saying, you work in a nursery, you have to like deal with heat, and you have to contact your boss when it becomes a safety issue. Mm-hmm. That was story one down, and all these stories I'm gonna have the links to also if y'all want to go more in depth of like reading the comments and stuff like that. All the links are gonna be in the description. All right, we have another. Am I the a-hole? You ready for the next one? Am I the a-hole for throwing out one of my mom's crock pots and not wanting to buy her a new one?
You can't just throw away a crock pot without her permission.
Yeah. Okay. Hi guys, I really need some perspective on this to try and understand if I'm being the jerk or she. My mom used this crock pot for my sister's graduation party, and it sat there for months filled with cabbage. I tend to do the dishes as long as they're empty and in the sink. I've communicated several times to everyone how much it bothers me for them to leave massive chunks of food in dishes when we have a garbage disposal, and my refusal to do the dishes if they're left like that. Dishes aren't my chore or anything, I just tend to do them because no one else will, and the dishes will stink up the whole house if I don't. Now back to our crock pot. It was left in the corner to ferment, and it ended up collecting an army of fruit flies gushing from this one tiny vent at the top. I was going crazy looking at the source until I found it. I knew from the amount of flies that existed coming from the tiniest hole that many, many more existed on the inside. Not to mention the smell was horrific. Probably the worst aroma I've ever had to deal with from this one tiny little hole. So I thought the best thing to do was to triple bag the thing, put it in a bin, and leave it outside the house for now until we figure out the best place to throw it out. She came home extremely livid about it. Told me I shouldn't have thrown it out or to buy her a new one. From my perspective, I've been very open about not just that crock pot, but the unwillingness to clean the dishes if they cannot at least remove the food from them. P.S. We have a garbage disposal and a dishwasher anyone can use. I tend to hand wash personally because that's just what I'm used to.
I would say definitely not the a-hole.
I totally would throw it away.
Yeah.
Throw it away. I have thrown away a lunchbox for less. Because I don't even do the dishes. Glenn does the dishes for me. And I feel so guilty when I do things that are similar to this. But if it's been like a couple weeks and I didn't take like remnants of a lunch outside my lunch bag, I'm just throwing away the whole lunch bag. Glenn's not even going to see it. I was getting a new lunch bag.
Yeah. At that point, it's almost uncleanable. So
this sat there for months.
I can't.
Months.
He should have thrown it away sooner. After 1 month, that thing's gone.
Like, there ain't no... And crockpots are... If you get a nice crockpot, they can be expensive. But they're not necessarily a crazy expensive item.
Yeah, I mean, you're not really spending more than $100.
I would say I would probably buy her a new one. Just to shut her up. But I don't think this person needs to buy the new one. At all.
No.
I do think she could have told the mom, hey, found this. Do you want me to throw it away or are you gonna clean it? Because I'm not cleaning it. I think that could have been said, but definitely not. So they were ruled not the a-hole on this. Someone said, I'm thinking not the a-hole. Stop doing their dishes and move out as soon as you're legally allowed to and can afford it. In the meantime, get your own cup, bowl, plate, and cutlery and keep it in your room. Hid it from everyone else. Not the a-hole. It's a biohazard. It's their problem for letting it get that bad. If they wanted to salvage it so bad, they can clean it themselves. If they can't upkeep it properly, best not to waste money on getting a new one. I hope you can leave soon. It sucks to live in a place with nasty environments outside of your choice. I do think, she said she triple bagged it and put it outside until they could figure it out. So the mom could go get it and clean it.
Right.
But she didn't want to clean that.
Nope.
No.
Nobody
Throw the whole thing
to.
away. Whole thing. And that's a cast iron skillet like that. It's getting thrown away. You don't agree with that? Cast iron skillet's a little bit different.
Yeah, because you could like power wash it and like re-sand it down if you wanted to.
Hopefully we never have to deal with this, because I feel like there's no way in our house at least that it can just be pushed in the corner. We're not going to see it for months because I go crazy.
Yeah, like I think probably the longest the dishes have stayed in the sink is like a week.
And that's like crazy for us.
Yeah.
Like that was like a bad, crazy busy weekend and everything. Someone said go to the SD card filled and battery died. So we changed to both and we're gonna keep rocking and rolling. We got another Am I the Bung Julio? There's a couple of these because this is just an easy thread to go through. Am I the a-hole for telling my sister that her lack of professional hygiene is a real reason no job will hire her and not sexism? That's a crazy title. This one I didn't read, I just read the title and it said add to list, you know? This concerns my sister Lily, who is graduating soon. Our parents taught us the importance of personal hygiene is keeping yourself presentable. But I guess Lily fell off the wagon while dorming in college because it feels like she dropped everything to do with her personal hygiene since moving back home. It's easier to explain with a list of the things she doesn't take care of. Hair. Very oily/greasy and always tangled from the lack of washing and brushing. Skin. Also very oily and greasy from no wash. Nails. Never trimmed, so they're so long and yellow from grime. Clothes. Clothes themselves are nice, but she leaves them sloppy and wrinkled. Body. Showers once a week tops. Not sensitive to smell, but my sister reeks and honestly makes me gag sometimes. Lily is upset with me because she says she can't keep an in-person job in her field and wants to give up. Our parents have tried telling her that presentability and hygiene is most important as credentials when getting jobs, but my sister won't listen. Lily has a rocky relationship with our family, so she takes it as a personal attack rather than letting them help. Lily is now blaming sexism and says men are all just intimidated by competent women, that the sole reason why she hasn't gotten a job. If she wants to lie to herself, it's her life, whatever. But I can't stand is her trying to make it my problem and expect validation from me. Lily just had a bunch of interviews, but they all went cold after and none of them panned out to jobs. She was venting to me last week about companies in this field are all boys clubs and quick to shoot down any woman they know is intellectually above them. I basically just was like, good for you, but can I finish my session in peace now? Lily got defensive and said she was just warning me, then doubled down saying most men are selfish and I should save myself a headache now. She was saying this with my male friends on a voice call. I had enough and told Lily that her lack of personal hygiene is a real reason she has no job and no one will hire her. So stop blaming others and think for 2 seconds. If you're a company owner who needs to impress investors to keep his own family afloat, would you want to be represented by someone who looks and smells like a homeless person or someone who is presentable and take care of themselves? We got into an argument and Lily is now giving me one-word answers or is not saying anything to me at all. I'll be honest, we argue a lot, but Lily would have gotten over it by now. Do I do the right thing by giving Lily a dose of reality, or did I mess up here?
I would say not the a-hole. I mean, it's like having an intervention with somebody that needs to realize whatever it is.
Because there's someone in my life, right? And I wish somebody would have told her like this, like straight up. And if everyone's telling you, like your family's telling you, your sibling that you're close to is telling you, like people are telling you, you should like take a second to like evaluate. And it's okay for her to be embarrassed. I feel like most people would be embarrassed by stuff like that. And that's okay. Comments, not the a-hole. I would be concerned about why Lily is letting herself get to that point. Speaking from experience, keeping up with personal hygiene was really difficult when I was struggling with depression. But it made an effort to look presentable when I had to go out. I don't know if that's your sister is going through, but it might be worth looking into. That said, she also needs to learn how to self-reflect and hold herself accountable instead of blaming others for her failures and projecting her personal experience onto you. You did the right thing by pointing it out. Hopefully, it will serve as a wake-up call.
Yeah, I was thinking it could have something to do with mental health.
A lot of people are saying refusal to deal with hygiene issues is mental health issues or depression, a defense mechanism. Everyone's saying, is Lily okay? Not the a-hole, but check on Lily. Not the a-hole. If Lily's theory was true, she wouldn't have even gotten the interviews. Obviously, they see her resume with her education and experience and think she might be a good fit. If she's getting in the door but isn't landing any job, she needs to realize that she's passing the sniff test literally. Let her know that because she needs backup to those reasons you're giving her, it could be that she's depressed as well. If her hygiene was good before, during college, and it's only since she's gotten home that she lets it go, it might be worth checking in with her, or at least telling your parents so they can address it. Good luck. Well, I'm curious too, because it says, like, mentioning, like, just giving you a heads up if I can't find a job. Why does that, if you're an adult, why does you not getting a job matter to anybody else? Because you're going to leech off of them? You know what I mean? Like, let her figure it out. Like, you've told her. Let her figure it out. Like, she's a grown adult. She has to have a job. She has to have some kind of income. So, like, she needs to figure out something. Okay, this is a really short one. Am I the a-hole for throwing crap on my neighbor's car? So, background, my neighbor has this really big dog. There's a lot of cuss words, and I'm trying really not to cuss on this channel. My neighbor has this really big dog, and it's super sweet. I think it's a Great Dane mix. It's some sort. But anyway, I just moved in about 3 months ago, and at least 3 times a week his dog has taken massive dumps on my front lawn. I started noticing it, and then I caught the dog doing it and yelled at it, and then went over and talked to my neighbor. She apologized and she said she would keep an eye on him, and it kept happening. I talked to her more than one time, and she said it must be happening when I'm not out there. One day I saw it doing it again, and she was sitting there watching it, and I was mad. And after, there's not a single period in this whole paragraph. There's so many ands, so I'm trying to decipher. And after the dog went inside, I went to the shed and grabbed a shovel, scooped up about 5 dumps, and threw it all over her car and smeared it with the shovel. She came over mad the next morning, called the cops, but hey, the dog doesn't poop in my lawn anymore.
Hey, I mean, whatever works.
Smearing it is crazy.
Yeah, that's kind of crazy. But
smearing it on the car is crazy. Like, that's a little too far.
Yeah, but he did the right thing and went talk to her, and she seemed to listen, but she didn't. So And it happened multiple times after he already had talked to her.
But there's so many other ways before you smear it on her car. Like, put it in her yard. Put it on her front door. Like put it on the little porch. Like, put it even on the car, on the hood of the car, and then just not smear it. Like, that's crazy. The ruling is everyone sucks here. Because if you have a Great Dane, those aren't little, like, cute little poops. And either way, you should just pick up your dog's poop in somebody else's yard. Especially if they express to you, don't let them poop in my yard.
Yeah.
I understand, like, dogs are gonna poop wherever they want to poop. But you're the owner. Like, you have to take care of that. Everyone sucks here is a ruling. He will say, everyone sucks here, she's a bad dog owner, but you damaged her property instead of returning the poop to her. You're also the a-hole for not using punctuation. There is not a single period in this entire thing, and it's just
no punctuation.
There's, like, so many errors, and my dyslexia is trying to decipher. I mean, everyone is saying, you're doing damage to property. Someone said, someone is known to the police, and it's not her. Front stoop, not the car. You're the a-hole for not using punctuation at all, but also going nuclear with your shovel and the dog poop. Because she probably scratched, like, up the paint and everything with the shovel, smearing it in.
Maybe so.
And then that's criminal damage to property. That's a misdemeanor charge. Depending on what state you are, like the value, it could be a felony. I think it's just, that's like a nuclear response. Okay. This is on the petty revenge. My college roommates and her friends would eat all of my food, so they ate brains. Automatically, I read this title, and I was like, this sounds like some Louisiana, like, go find some roadkill, mix up some brain. You know what I mean? Like, that's where my head went reading this title. So I was in college full-time and working full-time. So I had little time to meal prep. I would make enough meals for a few days and store them on my designated shelf in our shared dorm fridge. I'd come home from a very long day and just went to eat and relax, but I'd almost always have no food left. 9 times out of 10, I'd actually walk in on them eating my meals. They even had the guts to say how good it tasted, and they were sad that there wasn't more. I asked over and over to stop eating my own food. Nope, wouldn't listen. So I went home to my parents' house and made a lot of spaghetti. Good spaghetti. Knowing they would most certainly eat the whole thing. Sure enough, I got home to my dorm after a long day, and these 3, not even my roommates, these 3 girls are standing in the kitchen eating my spaghetti, and a huge bowl is almost gone. One of the girls says how much she loves it and wants to know how I made it. Straight to her face, I tell her in a common meal we make at the farm. We go to the butcher, get hog head cheese, and that's the meat in the spaghetti. She was confused, total city kids, and didn't know what head cheese was, and I answered, well, it's pig brains. It's good, isn't it? That's almost most of my meals are made from. She throws a bowl of spaghetti down and runs to the bathroom puking everywhere. Took off out of the dorm running too. That is how I ended them stealing my food with such sweet petty revenge. Nobody touched my food ever again, nor did they talk to me. Win-win. Also, the meat was not head cheese / brains. It was pork sausage and very lean beef mixed together to resemble cooking pig brains. Edit. Alright already. Geesh. Head cheese is not brains, is everything but. In my family, we use that term encompassing. Every family has things like that. That's one of ours. Lighten up. I truly wish this wasn't true. I would have a lot happier and ate better. These girls were true definition of 0 F's given. No morals. When I say puked everywhere, I mean everywhere in the bathroom and on the carpet just outside. She was already puking by the time she got to the bathroom, and puke painted the bathroom trying to get to the toilet. So in Louisiana, hog head cheese is like a snack. So I was like, to me, this is like the drama, right? Like, the drama. But he didn't even put it in there.
Yeah.
How do we stop stealing people's food? Her puking everywhere is crazy.
Yeah. I think she did the right thing. She was tired of them taking advantage of her.
I mean, yeah. Because I feel like when you're in a dorm, because I was in a dorm, and I was in an apartment with like a bunch of other girls. You only take food if someone explicitly is like, yeah, you can have some milk for your coffee. But if you use the most of that, you buy the new one. Like, you don't just take other people's stuff without thinking unless they're actively like offering it. Some comments. Someone said, food died. No one ever stole my purple sausage or green milk. My grandma used to make my dad scrambled eggs with cow brain. She also made tongue sandwiches. She grew up with the Great Depression and lived the rest of her life like it could happen again. It's like, it's really not that big of a deal. I will never understand the audacity of people consistently stealing other people's food, even when they have been caught and specifically told not to do that. I would get up in flames from embarrassment if somebody caught me stealing their food, which I actually never would do. So obviously they were ruled, or they're not ruled because not, but like obviously everybody's on their side with this. There is over 20,000 upvotes for this. So like, yeah. Especially if you didn't like actually feed them crazy stuff and you told them whatever.
Yeah, just be a decent human being. How about them apples?
That's such a crazy thought. All right, we have two more. Which one do you want to hear first? One title is Roommate Said, if you're tired of cleaning up after us, just leave our stuff where you found it. The other one is I stole a car from a car thief. First one. Roommate said, if you're tired of cleaning up after us, just leave our stuff where you found it. I am a 35-year-old female, but I live in college. I rented a small house with 3 dudes, all of us in our early 20s. I have many stories of petty revenge from this time in my life, as guys in their 20s who are living away from their mothers for the first time often need a point of illustration from no certain terms, but this is one of my favorites. The house had 1 bedroom and 4 of us, and I was the only girl and the only one with a clean freak for a mother. I ended up doing basically all of the cleaning. I frequently put things away in common spaces, shoes in the front closet, laptop on shelves so no one trips over the cord, etc. Both because it made cleaning easier and because it was common courtesy to clean up your stuff in common spaces. I was often met with irritation from my roommates who couldn't find their stuff, as if I was hiding it from them and not putting it perfectly reasonable and agreeable upon places. During this time, one of the roommates had a girlfriend who was basically a squatter in our house. I did my best to be friendly and welcoming, including driving her places when I had time and helping her find a job, both mistakes in hindsight, but that's another story. She technically had a place to live somewhere, but all of her stuff somehow ended up in our house, including our 1 tiny bedroom, which she showered twice a day, despite contributing nothing to rent or utilities. The number of products lining our shower easily tripped over when she appeared, which made cleaning the bathroom a nightmare. I asked that she coral her bathroom stuff and keep it in his room so the shower could be cleared without me knocking over 27 conditioner bottles, but that was asking too much. Final verdict from my roommate was that I should just leave her stuff where you found it. So I did. When I cleaned the shower, I sprayed down all of her bathroom products with scrubbing bubbles rather than remove it. It melted her expensive shampoo bar pretty quickly and made all of her bottled products slippery, but I was just following instructions. Roommate's laptop was plugged in, so I tripped over the cord while walking through the living room. You said just to leave it, so I did, even though tripping over it's unplugged now and it's now dead when you need to use it. My personal favorite. Roommate and their girlfriend left their shoes all over the living room. The closet is literally 3 feet away. I needed to vacuum, so I let their stuff be where I found it. I rolled up the living room rug with their shoes inside, vacuumed the whole house, and they came out halfway through and asked me where I put their shoes because they were leaving. I didn't put them anywhere. I left them right where I found it. They kept looking confused. About 30 minutes later, I unrolled the rug to replace it, revealing their shoes. They called me the a-hole, but after the shoe incident, suddenly their bathroom products were put away, shoes were ended up in the closet, and laptops were plugged in somewhere out of the way. Living with 2 brothers in a 3-bedroom house with my parents, I freaking love this.
So it's 1 girl and 3 guys?
1 girl and 3 guys.
I can't imagine, like, living in a house like that, like, with 1 bedroom.
No, they all had their own bedroom, but they had common bathroom, common living room, like common areas. And they were leaving their stuff out in just all of these common areas. So she's saying, like, for the girlfriend that was staying there, keep all your products when you're not in the shower in his room, so that we're not all tripping over it in the shower with your 27 bottles of conditioner.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
I'm obsessed with this. I mean, the comments are just like, yeah. College kids' abuse of shared living spaces is one of the most frustrating tragedies of the comments. A lot of people are sharing, like, similar stories. Like, I love this. Like, love. You know, like, go off. Okay, last one. I stole a car from a car thief. This is on petty revenge as well. I woke up to the sound one night to the sound of my 95 Honda Civic trying to start. It wouldn't start because a thief hadn't found the kill switch. There's a lot of car theft in my city, and those old Hondas are easy targets, and I'm glad that I installed it. I ran outside in my underwear, just shouted from the porch deep and loud as I could, "Hey, what the F are you doing?" 2 people ran out of the car and down the street. The shouting woke up my roommates, and they came downstairs to see what was up. We peeked outside, but the thieves had ran off. Then a few minutes later, I hear the engine trying to start again. So I shouted for my roommates to come back. We all ran outside in underwear and pajamas. One guy had a skateboard and one guy grabbed a bat. So we're standing there on their porch, trying not to get physical, just shouting at them. Then one thief yells back to another from another Honda parked a few feet away from mine, "No, this is my car. We're just trying to get it away. It's my car." I don't know what came over me, but I shouted back, "No, that's my car now. That's mine." And they just were like, okay, and ran off. I couldn't believe it worked, but I think it's only worked because my 3 other roommates in their underwear and skateboard with a bat. I called to the police right away, stayed outside watching for them, but they didn't come back. The police checked their car, or my new car, outside and found that it was stolen, of course. So the owner got his car back, I guess. I'm also glad I had the kill switch.
I mean, he didn't really steal a car at all.
No. He just like took ownership of one. Like, "It's my car, it's my car."
Yeah. Someone
said Captain Underwear out righting wrongs, bringing peace to the city for covering one Honda at a time. Because they're all just in their underwear. They probably do look like crazy car thieves with a bat and screaming, and they're all in their underwear. They probably do look like a bunch of crackheads. There are a lot of criminals or cowards. Confront them and they'll bolt pretty quickly.
I mean, good thing we don't know, but they didn't the car thieves didn't like flash guns or anything.
That's what I was thinking too. I was like, y'all gonna get shot. But I guess that's just the Baton Rouge and us, so like, there's New Orleans, you're gonna get shot. What is a kill switch? How do you...
You have to turn that switch on for you to be able to start the car.
So if you're a car thief and you don't have a key to even do the hot wires and everything, you have to turn the kill switch on? Or off? Yep. Gotcha. Well, that is everything. What did you think of that?
Pretty crazy.
Do we like this? Do we like reading Reddit stories? I like it. I watch these videos literally all the time, so I thought it'd be really fun to just make one ourselves. Let me know, do we want to see these videos more often? I was thinking maybe once a month, a random time I can post this, maybe 2 times a month, once every other week, or once a week, or let me know. Let me know what y'all think. Thank you so much for joining me. Come back on Monday for a regular video content, I believe. The next video after this is gonna do with a vacation we're going on. Have a good one, everyone. Bye! I'm tired of talking. I've been yipping yapping for 2 hours now. It's 9 o'clock.